they decided that they didn't really have the resources to kind of keep that going. So at that point, I just said, okay, well, it's probably time for me to part ways. But it's been an incredible journey. Wish them all the best. So I'm also I'm wandering a little bit, but I'm a chartered professional accountant by training. So I'm an accountant, ex-investment banker as well. So I have a good sense of capital markets. My strength is scaling businesses, starting with early stage, startup series, seed, Series A, and helping businesses scale and grow, put the financial infrastructure in place, which I think is going to be an interesting change now with the advent of AI, because I think that whole dynamic is going to be different than what it used to be. And also, I belong to a few different groups. So the Financial Executives Institute down here. And I think I'm going to actually be on the judging committee for the next CFO of the Year awards.
Right.
Member of the Operators Guild, which is kind of an interesting group. And also I'm a chartered member of the National Association of Corporate Directors. So I do sit on some boards, I chair audit committees, compensation committees, and that too. So that's kind of a bit on my background.
Very cool. Very cool. Make sure everybody you put your information into the chat room. What we do is we record these meetings and then we'll send you a copy of it. And if you put your chat in the meeting, the head of my social media normally uh takes all the information, then sends it off to you. For some reason, he's having technical problems today. So I got somebody else from my city, uh, company that I own, doing that. So Cheryl, why don't you go next?
Okay. It sounded like John's in the Arizona area. Is that right?
I am, yeah.
So I'm
Scottsdale,
in
right?
Mesa right now. It looks like June's going to be my last full month in Mesa. Then I'm going back to Virginia.
Oh, wow.
So doing as much as I can here locally while I'm here. And
Cheryl, how long have
I'm,
you been a client? You've been a client a long time, three, four
I
years.
know, I don't know how long.
It's got
It's
to be
been a
3 or
while.
4 years.
Your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I adopt family easily
There you go.
because I want everybody to be in a good position before they walk off the planet financially
There
or
you go.
or physically. Anyway, so I am an educator. I want to make sure everybody knows how money works and has things in place so that they can walk off the planet and leave everybody happy. I know it's not happy times
Fantastic.
sometimes. You know what?
Fantastic.
Uh, so I am gathering thanks to these kind of meetings. I meet people and then I can connect them with people who need their services or with people that have services they need. Anyway, so I love it. I love connecting people and I'm thankful to be here. Anyway,
Fantastic. Fantastic. DePauli, why don't you go next?
Yeah, sure. So how are you doing, everyone?
Excellent.
Yeah. So I'm Dipali Sutar. I'm an Indian CPA, and I'm working as a merger acquisition partner with Fortis. So I am into merging acquisitions of CPA and RIA firms. So I'm checking like for the full or maybe partial acquisitions for the CPA and RIA firms. So looking for acquire as much we can, CPA firms. So this group have at least we have a 4 companies. One is our own RIA. Another is our brokerage firm, insurance brokerage firm. Third one is general agency for the mass mutual, and fourth one is capital group. So I'm working for a capital group, and our idea to set up like a family office kind of setup in each state by these acquisitions. So I am into acquisitions of all these, mostly the CPA part.
Where are you living now?
I'm in Phoenix, and currently I'm in Awatuki in Phoenix.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
nice to meet you, everyone around
Yeah,
me.
nice to meet you as well.
You know,
Yeah.
nice to be met.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm Bob Friedenthal. I've been a LinkedIn consultant for, oh my God, well over 25 years. I got started with LinkedIn when there was only 140 million members, I think it was, on LinkedIn. And now
Wow.
Okay.
there's over a billion. And
Mm-hmm.
do you guys know that Microsoft bought
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn umpteen thousand years ago?
Mm-hmm.
They paid for it $26 billion. So I went back 2, 3 weeks ago. I went back and I looked at what the valuation of LinkedIn was, and they said it's now $32 billion. So,
Wow.
it's a business community, and that's the important part. So, and I see you all put your information into the chat room. So what we'll do is, and John, did you include your email address in there?
No, I did. Let me do that right now.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we record this meeting. The Normally the gentleman that records it was having some tech issues on it. He's the head of my social media, so it's shows under mycity.com.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, here, let me change my name. The only reason I have a name is to just help confuse you all. So why is that lot? Huh? I forgot where I changed it. Been so long. Here we go.
You got it?
I'm not sure it's.
Participant. You go to participants and click my city dots.
Oh, that's right
I
over
just
here,
have
over here,
pinned.
over
You
here.
have changed your name, I think. Here we go.
Stop video. Rename. Okay, there it is. Forgot.
And Bob, just I didn't click on your questionnaire, and for some reason I got an alert popped up in my on my computer saying that the site was dangerous or something like that. So
Oh, I don't know. You know what? We'll connect
okay.
and talk.
Okay, I connected with you on LinkedIn, but yeah, the actual questionnaire, for whatever reason, my computer doesn't seem to want to go there. So
No, we've been having some problems lately, and my IT guy is frustrating me a little bit, but whatever.
yeah.
I'll get in touch with you. So if you put your hi Felix, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Hi, thank you for the invitation. My name is Felix Martinez. I am the founder of LegalBait.io. LegalBait.io is a legal marketplace where people can actually educate themselves about their legal problem, watch a little 13-minute video, and then from there, they're able to submit their case anonymously and have lawyers bid for their business. The client chooses between experience and the best deal, and that's pretty much what I provide.
Very good. Did you put your contact information into the chat room?
We'll put it on right now.
Okay. DePauli, I didn't get you to say what you do.
Um, can I explain again?
Did you
Yes, you
explain it to
did tell
everybody?
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
I'm all over the place.
I think I already explained, no? If you want me to again, I will
Go
again.
ahead and explain it again, because what
Okay,
you do
okay.
is
Hello, everyone. So I am Dipali Sutar. I am a merger and acquisition partner with Fortis Lux, and I am into merger acquisitions of CPA practices and RIA practices. So we are looking for, acquire firms who want to do expansion or who want to do 100% exit plan. So mostly the CPA practices or RIA practices.
very good, very good. And I saw you put your information in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
so
already did. Yeah.
okay. And Christian, hi Christian, how are you? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi there, everybody. Christian Berry here, local realtor in Arizona, Scottsdale, and just ready to help people move.
There you go. There you go. Uh, I also recommend putting a phone number in there because this is a tight group. This is the objective of it is to meet with the other people in the group and learn a little bit about them and share information. So not everybody normally that is here right now is at this group meeting today. So it's kind of mysterious. And I know the head of my social media is having a tech problem because that's why it shows under mycity.com. But so my name's Bob Friedenthal. On LinkedIn, I'm under Karen Caryn and Bob Friedenthal, and I think that's probably how you found this group. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I got a staff of people that manage LinkedIn accounts, and there's they still say, LinkedIn's grown from when I started using LinkedIn from like 130 million to now well over a billion members. And it's gone from Microsoft bought them, I don't know how many years ago for 26 billion. And I just went back, I was just saying to the group here that I looked at them and they're now valued at 32 billion. So it's got the highest income level and the most professionals of any website on the planet. So it's not whether or not you want to be there, you have to be there. And that's what they keep growing on. So uh let's see. I've gone around the block here. Christian, did you mention what you're doing? You're a realtor and you're in Scottsdale?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I'm in Scottsdale right now. My son works at Mayo Clinic and he's got two little kids, so I'm a proud grandfather. One's 3 weeks old.
Wow.
I know, it's great. And then we've got a 2.5 year old too. So
Hands full
we
right there.
yeah, we normally live in Palm Springs, but my wife grew up in LA, so I met her on a blind date. True story. Um, and then we were set up on a blind date, and when I met her, I went, "It's no longer blind," and I got my eyesight back. If
Wow.
you're laughing, shame on you, right? Laughter is the only thing that's going to get us through this crazy world, right? You all agree to that?
Absolutely.
We're living in a crazy world nowadays, so it's
Just a little, just a
right.
little.
Christian, how long have you been a realtor?
I've been doing it about 8 years. Coming
Oh,
up on,
really?
yep.
You don't look old enough to be doing anything for 8 years.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But
And did you grow up in Scottsdale?
yes, I did. I originally am from Iowa City, but I moved here when I was 6 years old, so technically grew up here.
My son works at Mayo Clinic. He
Yep.
works in an area called interventional radiology. He's a nurse. These are the high tech of high tech doctors. These doctors are making over 600,000 a year. So they're making a ton of money. So, and I'm in Scottsdale right now, getting to
Love it.
enjoy the grandkids and all that good stuff. But I hold this meeting every week. So I've been a LinkedIn consultant for probably 25 years. At this point, I got started on LinkedIn when there was only something like 130 million members on LinkedIn. Now it's grown to over a billion members. Microsoft bought them a number of years ago. And there's a reason they did it because it still has the highest income level of any website on the planet. These are people that are making tons and tons of money utilizing LinkedIn. So let me put it to you this way. I got started on the internet when a 250 to 300 megabyte hard drive was the size of a washing machine and 40 to $50,000. And I was a director of accounting for a publicly traded company. And I decided, you know what? Oh, here's Lisa. So I decided this is where I want to go. So cold turkey, I quit my company that I was working for and decided to learn as much as I could about the internet. And boy, has it changed. Any of you over 30? John,
Don't
I
even
think.
get me started.
Okay, so I'm 76 years old, and my wife's in the background laughing.
Old.
He's old.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I'm 62, so
Oh, you're a youngster. You're a youngster. But listen, when you get started early stage on stuff, grab it. What's the latest? AI, right? Isn't artificial intelligence the latest and greatest?
yeah, I've been doing a pretty deep dive into that. Now that I've sort of got a bit of breathing room, and I think there's a lot of potential there. So I'm already at the point where I'm figuring out as I sort of move forward here how to leverage the tools in a number of different ways to enhance my productivity. I mean, obviously, there's just simple little things like, hey, let's just take this business presentation, we'll run it through call it a chat GPT and kind of prompt it for some, cleanup and corrections and things like that. But I think there's going to be a lot more to that. And I saw an interesting article, actually, it was on LinkedIn that there's going to be like even just virtual kind of executive assistant slash concierge is probably going to be in and of itself $100 million or $100 billion market. So it's huge. And I think if you don't get onto it soon, you're going to be left behind. I know with businesses, like all the nuts and bolts accounting, like I look at, again, this might be too technical for most people. When I think about implementing an ERP system, like all that data entry, there will be some human, observation just from a quality check standpoint here and there, but it's going to replace all that sort of journal entries, input, output, and really all it's going to be doing now is that the CFO, the control, will be making decisions based on all of that, and probably using AI to help them make those decisions, right?
Yeah, the other thing that I talk about all the time is the hacking.
Mm-hmm.
We're not done with hacking, gang.
No, no.
We're just at the now that we know something, it's just at the verge of it's constantly exploding because of the changes that AI is making. So how are you getting all your data for off of LinkedIn, or where are you getting the data for your future clientele?
It comes from all sorts of different sources. Frankly, I get some a little bit from LinkedIn, but for me, it's often personal networks and that kind of send me stuff, typically by way of email and all that. So, but to your point, like where I'm starting to see some of the well, it's not so much hacking, but it's more just fraud, corporate fraud, is super realistic looking invoices where they're like look like legitimate companies, everything's great, and then it's for small amounts, right? So often it's below the radar screen, and so I'm actually seeing AI tools being developed to counter the AI generated false invoices, right? So these AI tools kind of know what
Big
to look
time.
for and say, aha, okay, this is not a real, they do the Google search right away, just automatically, like, okay, is this a real company? And And is there something about this invoice that looks, is the logo slightly? And so yeah, it's going to be a war of AI against AI, right? The criminals versus the good guys.
Very much so. Totally 100% agree with you. Um, one of my favorite sayings is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you get hacked, right? And knowing how to combat that, how to grow your business, that's all I've done for 25 years is manage people's LinkedIn accounts for it's got to be around 25 years that I've been doing this. So I got a staff of people, the picture of my city down below. My it's normally the head of my social media. He's having some tech problems today, so I don't know
Right.
what's going on with him. Halise, talk to us.
How are you all doing today? Um, my name is Halisi. Yeah, my name is Halisi. Taking my daughter to the sitter right now, so excuse me. But my name is Halisi. I am a workplace auditor. John, you mentioned the minor person who comes around and checks who checks the AI. That's what I do. I
Oh,
help employers I help employers understand how they have been running their HR functions. And while
okay.
they're asking the
Very cool.
question, how have we been doing? So I'm providing workplace audits for them so that employers can build and retain strong teams. And I also help with workplace investigations.
Interesting. Very cool.
It's like I say, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when are you going to get hacked. And that's a very dangerous position to be in, right? So you've always got to figure out, and it's rampant right now where people are impersonating people, so they're hacking you and taking all your data and your information. So, we're somewhat in very scary, questionable times, right? Does everybody agree to that?
Hmm.
Yeah.
DePauli, are you seeing much of that?
Yes, yes. We are also having one webinar. I'm also a secretary for Indian CPA group here, and we have a like seminar for on AR on 31st of March. It's for AI as a like a uh, for finance and CFO kind of services. So if anyone interested, I will share the link and it's a free webinar we can join.
When's your meeting
It's on 31st of March, 3 to 4 p.m. Arizona time.
of March or
Oh,
May?
sorry, May, May.
Okay, yeah, we've
Yeah,
got a while to wait if it's March.
yeah. So I was just sorry for that.
No problem.
31st of May. Okay.
So yeah, 31st of May,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's on 3 to 4 p.m. Arizona time. So the three presenter, they are the Indian CPAs. They are on big position and they are also working as a AI directors. So
Well,
it
one
will
of
be, yeah. Yeah, I will share the details on our group maybe. Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. Well, when I was in the service and I got out of the military a long, long, long time ago, I had
Mm.
two levels above top secret. Okay. I worked for NATO. This is during the Vietnam War. And I was a lucky guy out of 1,000 guys waiting for a permanent duty station. 999 of them went to Vietnam, and I went to Norfolk, Virginia. You ever hear of a guy named Alexander Haig?
Sure
Never.
do.
Okay. I reported to him. He was the
No
head of a
way.
base. Yeah, a long time ago. He was the head of a base in Norfolk, Virginia called SACLANT, Supreme Allied Commander of the Atlantic. Then he became Secretary of State, and then he pulled something. I think he's passed away since then, but he pulled something that people didn't like, and I think he either retired or did something, But like I say, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when things fall apart, and then you got to recoup them, right? So that is such a major, major aspect of what you do. And that's why Lise is such a valuable person, because he helps to manage all this data, right? Isn't that what you do, Lise?
I help look at the, I help there.
Oh, that's a little one.
Yeah, that's my little one in the back. Yes. I help look at the, output of the data. So AI is a huge efficiency tool, but it's only as good as the programming those pieces that are in there, and so
I can
the
tell you're driving your daughter to school, right? Maybe not, who knows? Um, but the world's changing, and it's a matter of really trying to keep up. Isn't that what's happening? That you struggle to keep up with all the changes that go on? Give me some feedback.
Yeah, even
Amen.
going back on AI, I heard yesterday at a seminar that even they're starting AI for people in China at kindergarten. So they're starting to learn. Yeah. And I thought that was just amazing and shocking to me,
Yeah,
because if you don't start learning it and getting with it, then it's gonna take off and you're gonna be left behind. So
yeah, God, my history in the internet goes so far back. Um, I was director of, like I mentioned earlier, I was a director of accounting for a publicly traded company. And so what I decided to do was, and they had one fraud after another. Anybody here heard of a company called Max Factor?
Yes. Isn't that
Okay.
the cosmetics, right?
Cosmetic. Oh, very good. Very good. Oh, thank God I found somebody that knows a little bit about my background. So I was hired, a company called Norton Simon had just acquired Max Factor. And they had one fraud after another. And I'll give you an idea. The first department that I tackled was the accounts payable department. They had had a $220,000 fraud. This was probably in 72, 73, something like that. What do you think that's worth today? A million eight? 2 million? So, like I say, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you get hacked. And so to make up for that, that's essential. Uh, Christian, you've been doing what you're doing for 8 years,
yes, sir.
and you've seen the world change already.
Completely. When you actually had to be have some type of skill to sell a house, to just listing it, putting it on the market and it sell quickly, to now you actually have to have skill again. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, and we're up for more change. We're not stagnant with where the world's going. It's
Every
it,
day, every
and
day
it's
it's going to change.
and it's going to even get more intense. What they see coming out of AI is astronomical. Felix, do you believe that? You're in mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you. I believe that it will bring a lot of beautiful things and a lot of bad things. I don't like to depend on anything or anyone. And just the fact that I see myself going back into ChatGPT just to verify my sentences or my paragraphs, it makes me a bit paranoid about myself. But I agree. I believe that it's a beautiful thing. It will actually help us do things faster, way faster. But if somebody pulls the plug on that AI, then we're gonna be like cavemen. We don't know how to do anything, and we depended on just one machine to do everything for us, and we'll be back on the man caves. I feel like. So it's a lot of beautiful things and a lot of bad things at the same time.
So tell me again what you do.
The platform that I have is a platform that it changes the market of how we actually know in the legal field. In right now, if a person has a DUI or a divorce, the first thing that they do is they go into the internet, they read ambiguous language that they don't understand, which triggers them to actually call the law firm. And the law firm, they have a system that they've been doing for the last 20 years that is not to actually discuss the case over the phone. Otherwise, you're not going to need them. So they have you come into the office. Then they actually put fear into the eligible free consultation, and which it actually triggers the person to act out of fear. So I'm changing that dynamics. If a person has a DUI, all they have to do is just go into my site. They can learn about their situation with a 13-minute video. All my videos are below 13 minutes. Then they can expose their case to lawyers to local lawyers that are waiting to acquire business. And let's say if I get a DUI, I may actually get a range of prices between $10,000 to $2,500. And I will go ahead and actually choose the best one that I believe that is going to be the best for me after I found out my legal situation about the DUI. And it's a way of basically educating people. And also it's a way of actually having resources right there in front of them that they can use and not actually act out of fear, but act out of knowledge at that point.
Yeah, well, again, we're into a really rapidly changing world, and it's only going to increase in speed. Everybody agree to that? Give me a show of hands. Isn't that kind of interesting? How the beauty of the internet, the beauty of Zoom. Look at Zoom. If Zoom only knew that COVID was going to make them explode, man, what a change that is. And that's Zoom's, if I'm not mistaken, it's originated out of Japan.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but don't hold me to it. But yeah, I think Zoom was actually originated. And right in the right time for Zoom to take off was COVID.
Yeah, it took a major sort of disruption of society, right? But it was kind of a product at the right time in the right place for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I was really excited that our church and my business had both started doing stuff on Zoom, so that when that happened, we just slipped right into those meetings versus go to the door and are you going to elbow bump or fist bump or shake their hand or, because we couldn't do any of that.
Cheryl, you never did tell the group what you're doing. I'm sorry about that. I should have asked.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, my
I
mistake.
teach financial education and I do it worldwide now because of Zoom.
Isn't that amazing? So your pitch, by the way, and I got to compliment Cheryl. So when she started out with me as a client years ago, um, I kept telling her she needed to work on her pitch, and she worked on it. And now she's got this splendid pitch that tells people what she does, and that's more important than anything here, right? It's not just a pretty face on a screen. All of you have pretty faces. It's it's learning from the people the little nuances of what you have that invites people in. By the way, and I say this quite often, people will size you up in the first 15 to 30 seconds. How many of you believe that?
I believe it.
Yeah, it's true. If you go, you could look it up on the internet. people will size you up in the first 15 to 30 seconds. So when I started asking people, I do video interviews. And when I first started doing the interviews, they were 25 minutes long. Ugh, that's just way too long. So I cut it down to 20 minutes. Then I cut it down to 15 minutes. And now I try to get people, and it never works this way, but I try to get people, tell us who you are and what you do in less than 10 minutes. Um, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of interviews of people. You look, bottom line is that people will look at your facial gestures and they'll look at how you act, your body language, and it's from there. And by the way, most of you have a really good body language. So somebody taught you that. You didn't learn that from your parents, did you?
Self-taught.
Self-taught. Okay.
Private school, boarding school.
Well, John, you have a very nice presentation. I'll tell you. You look good. You get across who you are, and I would think that people believe in you. So,
Yeah, certainly as a CFO, trust with the executive team and the CEO and the board directors is a huge part of what we do, right? Because there's a lot of people with the skill sets, but it's having that trust association because and a level of integrity because really you've got all the cash at your fingertips, right? And so people are putting a lot of trust in you. So yeah, you've got to present that confidence back and show whether it's your clients or your superiors, your board, that their trust is not misplaced.
a good question for all you. Thank you, John. That was great. Where do you guys get most of your lady and guys? Where do you get most of your new business? From referrals or from marketing?
For me, it's a two-edged sword. I have to get lawyers to sign up into my platform. And I actually put a link for everyone here. I have a team that is actually working with me, and they set me up with Apollo. I put the link for Apollo.io. It's a system that is an AI system that actually starts conversations for you for people in the field that you're looking for. It gets them to connect, and then you can actually take over the connection. So that has been very useful for me. The second other side of the sword is connecting with clients. That has been very challenging for me because right now we only offer education videos for DUI, family law, civil cases, personal injury, and bankruptcy. And there's a whole need of legal services out there. So even though I'm doing marketing just for those 5 areas, I'm getting medical malpractice, child support. I mean, things that are unrelated. So it's been a combo to answer your question of in innovation, which is Apollo, and also marketing, and also letting people know about my system, like what I'm doing right now with other people. And if their loved ones need it, Legal Bit is kind of like a no-brainer to use instead of going from law firm to actually get knowledge and shop around. So that's on my side.
It's interesting. In these groups, I have several groups that I run. And in these groups, what I experience is that most people, when you talk to them, are getting their new business based on referral. How many of you are getting your new business based on referral? Elise, how about you?
Referral.
Okay, so it's always about creating good relationships, right? Anybody here heard of organization called BNI, Business Network International? Okay, it's the largest networking group in the world. There's over 300,000 members. And I used to consult Dr. Ivan Meisner, his psychologist, a guy named Doc Barham on BNI, and that's where I learned about them. He has his saying is a real simple one, is giver's gain. And the reason he says that is you meet somebody, and what do people try and do? Sell you. Isn't that what they try to do? The exact wrong thing to do. Create a relationship first, build a relationship, and then you have the opportunity to sell them. Go look up BNI. Okay. I met Ivan Meisner and uh, many years ago, many years ago, and his psychologist Doc Barham. So, giver's gain, great motto, isn't it? Isn't that a better motto?
Absolutely.
Before you try to sell somebody, help them. If you can help them, you've gained a relationship and a potential client, depending on what they do. But it's always about meeting people. And that's the fun part. That's my fun part of life is meeting people. So
I
adopt
was
that.
doing,
Go ahead.
I was speaking to that. I was doing some discovery calls yesterday uh, with some uh, contractors, some small business contractors. So doing some discovery information. And while I was on the phone with them, they were talking about some of the difficulties they were having with employment, uh, with employment issues. But it was like a family owned business, and because it's family owned, they don't really have employment issues. The kind of the employees that they've been there for 20 to 30 years. So everyone is put, approaching approaching retirement, and so what they were telling me was that there's going to be this new wave. If, in order to keep the family business going, their son's going to need to take over, but he's ultimately going to have to deal with the hiring new employees, which they haven't really had to do. And due to my relationship with them, I was able to refer them over to another person that I actually gained a relationship from my city. And because we've just had meetings and meetings back and forth, and I'm having meetings with different various referral partners. It was a nice seamless transition.
You know, I love what you just talked about because don't walk around like this, like you have blinders on. Open your eyes. We're, you know, we're in a world of change, aren't we? Show me your hands. How many of you feel that we're in a world of change?
Most definitely.
Only going to get worse, gang, or better, however you want to say it, because it's change and how you adopt that will allow you to get to another level altogether. I've been running these networking groups like this for probably 30 years. I started out before COVID. I used to drive to places and fly like Denver, like I'm in Scottsdale right now, but my normal residence was LA. And I used to go to San Diego, all the different cities and drive there. My meetings were usually like once a month, but because of Zoom, I can now hold multiple more meetings. And that's what you need. So you do your marketing, right? You do your marketing, and then you need to take a step outside. So, by the way, I'd like to my contact information is in the chat. Please copy it down. Give me a call. Um, this is Thursday. I have two meetings on Friday, one at 8 a.m. by Zoom, and then another one at 10 a.m. on Zoom. The 10 a.m. Zoom meeting is a very interesting one because I'm a veteran. So I have a veterans group that meets every Friday at 10 a.m. And it's always interesting seeing and asking people how they change. How are they changing? What are you doing to change? And you know what? Too many people get stuck in the mud. And that's open your horizons, gang. Now, how many people think and feel that way?
Well, I have a comment on a piggyback comment, if I'm allowed to,
Oh,
about
please, please. That's what this is.
to what you stated and to what Ms. Cheryl McBride stated. We are integrating between the material world and the virtual world. Before, as just as Ms. Cheryl was stating, she will have to actually make time and actually make space in order to go to a physical location and actually meet someone. But now we actually are able to meet anyone virtually, which is not really a location. It's just, I don't even know if it's a destination. It's just a networking system. And to piggyback onto what you stated about having to change, for the last 30 years, I managed law firms and I always had a product or a service that someone needed. So I never had to actually ask them for their family names, about their kids, about where they're from. I mean, they have a need and I provide it for them. And the way that the legal system is maneuvered, it's made it seem like we are the only ones that can actually provide that service. Not to shy away from any spotlight to Christian, but I'm also a real estate agent. And while I'm waiting for this project to grow, I've never had any form of interaction with people in open houses. So I just tell them, hey, do you like the house? What are you going to do? What are you looking for? What's your area that you're looking for? And the person that has been doing it for such a long time, it's like, don't be on people's faces like that. Just ask them about their day, about their family. And I did that on the past weekend and I got a lead. Which it was weird because I felt like I was flirting with them, in some type of a way. But that's what people are looking for. The people are looking for that real connection. Sorry to take much of the time, but I just felt like I needed to say that.
Oh,
No,
no, that's great because I just coined a new phrase. I'm a business flirt.
That sounds very fitting to the circumstance.
I got a couple smiles there, right?
you did.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's always the keys. How do you flirt your way forward, but do it with honesty and integrity?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, my wife and I were set up on a blind date. And then when I met her, I said, "Oh, I think I'm going to marry her. I got my eyesight back." And we've been together 46 years. Oh God. I dye my beard gray just to look like I'm older. All right, gang. I think we covered a lot. Is anything else? Lisa, it's good to see you by face here. So thank you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting everyone.
Yeah, no, Bob, thanks for putting this together. This is great. And
I do this every week, man. I do this every week.
it's
I used to,
good to meet with people. So
that's the key, isn't it? Boy, you just said something very inspiring. So yeah, this group meets every week. I'd love to work with you to get this membership up because the group tomorrow has statically, we have 25 to 30 people that show up.
mhm.
And I'd love to talk to you about that, depending on what you're doing. It's an eclectic group of people. They're all over the place. No attorneys are in that group. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if we have any CPAs in the group, but look, the world's changing, gang, and if you don't grab onto it now, you're gonna struggle.
Well,
So
I'm always happy to chat about the future and how business dynamics will fit into that. So you'll
I
engage.
love the way you say about.
That's my Canadian accent popping out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So, when I was in the service, I had a very, very close family. I was in Norfolk, Virginia. They were out of Richmond, and I'd hear people say "abu," you know,
Yeah.
and I found it came from two places. One of them was like Montreal, something like that. I don't remember now. It was a long time ago. But it's about meeting people. Isn't that the fun part of life?
Completely.
So let's go meet some more people. And then my information is in the chat room. Don't be afraid to give me a call
Okay.
because all what it allows me to do is get under the hood of who you are in more than a minute, more than 5 minutes. You really it's learning about people. What are your challenges? I'd love to hear from each and every one of you what your challenges are. Cheryl is a great example. Her pitch was like this, right? And it took a while to get her out of her box, and she's no longer in that box, which I'm thrilled to death. It pleases me every time you make your pitch as to who you are. You've made such enormous change, Cheryl. Compliments to you.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, gang. We got
Okay.
5 minutes left. Anybody have anything earth-shaking that they want to talk about before we sign off?
Sadly, no, but it's absolutely a pleasure. And I'm not sure I'll be able to make it every week, but we'll certainly try every couple of weeks. So,
We'll figure it out. As long as you're having fun. If you're having fun and making money doing it, it doesn't get any better, does it?
oh, best of both worlds for sure.
Yep. So yeah, I'd love to talk to you again,
We will
John.
for sure.
I'd love to talk to each one of you again. How do you change what we get like this? Last statement, we all get like this. And once you get out of that mental box that you put yourself in, it's bouncing ideas off of other people that will allow you to prosper. Now, how many people feel like that? Oh, I'll raise my hand too. Cheryl, go ahead. Elise, raise your hand. All right, gang. Thanks for the meeting today. I hope you learned something. I hope it inspired you. And have the good rest of the week. And hopefully, we'll see you back here next week.
Okay, awesome.
You
Thanks,
can
everybody.
use,
Great to meet you all and have a good weekend.
yeah, you can use the same link that you used for today to get into this meeting.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
All right. Catch you
Well,
all
thanks,
later.
everybody.
Bye.